Hello and welcome to another edition of Pack Mentality, the show that delves into Pac-12 football in 7 minutes or less here on ArizonaSports.com. My name is Vince Marotta. Thanks for giving us a click. An amazing and improbable Week 12 just wrapped up, so let's review what we learned. We learned that this isn't the Arizona State Sun Devils of 2011. In Dennis Erickson's last year, ASU crumbled after a loss on the road at UCLA, dropping their final 5 games, including an ugly rout at the hands of Boise State in the Mako Bowl, Las Vegas. After ASU lost 4 straight this season, naysayers were making the comparison between Todd Graham's squad and Erickson's. The difference is ASU lost to bad teams during their 2011 nosedive. This year, those 4 losses came to teams ranked in the top 25. The Sun Devils quelled all that talk with a dominating 46-7 win over Washington State to become bowl eligible. We learned that Arizona can win on the road. The Wildcats exploded for 17 points in the fourth quarter to put away Utah in Salt Lake City 34-24. Matt Scott returned to the field for Arizona, but it was Kadeem Carey who stole the show. The sophomore running back ran for 204 yards against a good Utah defense, and now Carey leads the nation in rushing with 1,585 yards. We learned that the power in the South lies in Los Angeles, but not at USC. The UCLA Bruins will represent the South in the Pac-12 championship game for the second straight year. After beating USC 38-28, UCLA jumped out to a 24-0 lead and never looked back. Once again, it was turnovers hurting the Trojans, 3 on the day, including 2 picks by Matt Barkley, who has a career-high 15 this season. And we learned that Stanford's defense is incredible. The Cardinal did the unthinkable, shutting down Oregon's high-powered offense in a 17-14 win. The Ducks did manage just over 400 yards of offense, but their 14 points was their lowest output since Chip Kelly's first game as head coach, when the Ducks were dominated by Boise State 19-8. Stanford's defense has only been exposed once, and that was in a 54-48 overtime win over Arizona. David Shaw and his staff have done a masterful job this season, and Oregon loses a shot to play for the national championship. I went a very average 3-3 on the picks in Week 12, bringing the season mark to 63-20. In the BCS Rankings this week, there's again a heavy Pac-12 feel with 6 teams in the top 25. Oregon falls to 5th after their loss to Stanford, who moves up to 8th. Oregon State is up a spot to 15th. UCLA stays put at 17th. Arizona crashes the party at number 24. And Washington stays put at 25th. Who would have thought that there would be 6 Pac-12 teams in Week 13 BCS rankings, and one of them is not USC? To that, we say this. 6 games on tap this week. We'll start with the Friday games. Utah is at Colorado. And yes, the woeful Buffaloes did end Utah's hopes for a Pac-12 South title last year, but last year's CU team was far better than this year's. This one is for pride, with neither team earning bowl eligibility. First time in a decade Utah's not going to a bowl game. They'll take out their frustrations on Colorado 44-14. The Apple Cup game happens in chilly Pullman Friday afternoon, and this really shouldn't be much of a game after all. Washington State has lost 8 straight and were just awful in their loss to ASU last week. Meanwhile, Washington has won 4 in a row, and it looks like the light bulb has gone on for the Huskies defense, led by coordinator Justin Wilcox. UW has yielded just 48 total points during their streak, which will be increased to 5. I like the Huskies big, 52-13. The oldest rivalry trophy in college football is on the line when Arizona State visits Arizona for the Territorial Cup in Tucson. This game should be a good one. We know the team's fan bases hate each other. The players don't particularly care for one another. And now you've got 2 coaching staffs who are very familiar with each other, and there's animosity there too. The key for the Sun Devils will be slowing down red-hot Arizona running back Kadeem Carey, who has run for 570 yards in his last 2 games. And the key for U of A will be forcing Taylor Kelly into mistakes. The sophomore was nearly perfect in ASU's win over Washington State last week, but has looked mistake-prone in recent weeks. This is a tough one to predict. The heart says maroon and gold, but the head tells me Arizona wins 38-35. Saturday, things get interesting. 5th-ranked Oregon is in Corvallis to take on 15th-ranked Oregon State in the annual Civil War. The Ducks need a win and a UCLA win over Stanford to claim the Pac-12 North for the second straight year. And I think Oregon holds up their end of the bargain. It'll be a close, nasty contest, but I'm taking the Ducks 34-29. 8th-ranked Stanford is at the Rose Bowl to take on number 17 UCLA. Bruins have nothing to play for in actuality. They'll be in the Pac-12 championship game next week. Stanford needs a win to punch their ticket, and their defense will be tested against a potent Bruins offense. But let's face it, if you can shut down Oregon, you can shut down anyone. I like Stanford in this one, 27-20. If that shakes out, by the way, we'll have a rematch of these 2 teams in Palo Alto next Friday for the conference title. And finally, top-ranked Notre Dame needs a win over USC to claim a spot in the BCS championship game. The Irish have been the recipients of good fortune all season long, and they get another break this week as USC quarterback Matt Barkley is out with a shoulder injury. That means redshirt freshman Max Wittek, who has thrown all of 9 passes in his career, will get the start against the Irish. Even with Wittek out there, the Trojans have the potential to beat Notre Dame and add to the BCS chaos. But that's been the story all season long. All potential, no performance. The Trojans are the first team since Ole Miss in 1964 to start a season at number 1 and fall completely out of the rankings by season's end. USC has been the biggest disappointment in the country, and that will continue as the Irish will win 28-24, sending USC to an improbable 7-5 regular season finish. There you go, the last full week of Pac-12 football broken down on Pac Mentality. For more information, opinion, and observation on Pac-12 football and a lot of other subjects like how did the couple from the DirecTV anti-cable commercial be married in the United Airlines commercial? That's weird, right? Anyway, for that kind of stuff, you can follow me at Twitter @Vince Marotta. Thanks again for watching. Enjoy your Thanksgiving weekend, and we'll see you next time for the postseason edition of Pac Mentality right here on ArizonaSports.com.